Rich Rodriguez. So many preseason publications that list coaches on the hot seat have him #1 on that list, and he didn't back away from that when we spoke with him yesterday. He knows this is an important year. Brendan Gibbons having trouble teeing it up in the wind. He might also be a little jittery. He's a freshman taking part in his first college game, and it's in front of the largest crowd ever, they expect, to watch a college football game in the United States, or anywhere for that matter. He's a left footer. They'll hold it on the tee for him. And the season is underway for these two. A very short kickoff. And the Huskies will have great field position out near the 39-yard line. It's returned by one of the up men, Anthony Sherman, a 2-year captain for the Huskies. So here comes Zach Frazier, started for much of last season. He suffered a knee injury that limited him to 8 games. And the touchdowns to interceptions, not very impressive, but he improved in that regard late in the season when they won 4 straight games to finish the year on a roll, including a bowl win over South Carolina at the PapaJohns.com Bowl in Birmingham. A fake and a quick throw to Kashif Moore. And he stopped immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Jordan Todman, as Matt mentioned, will be the featured back. 3 wide receivers, Kashif and Isaiah Moore, with Michael Smith, and John Delahunt starts at tight end today. They have a veteran offensive line. They go without a huddle and come up quickly to the line of scrimmage, and Todman is smothered for a 3-yard loss by Jonas Mouton, returning starter at linebacker.
Todman's a guy that they like to get the football to, but the biggest thing is, we talked about the experience in the offensive line. They've got to handle an inexperienced defensive front for Michigan, but I'll tell you, this is the anchor right there. At Mike Martin, that's a heck of a football player.
Bunch receivers to the right, movement along the line of scrimmage. Greg Rowe crossed into the neutral zone. Question is, was he drawn across? Alex Kemp is leading an official crew out of the Big Ten Conference.
Ball start. Offense. Number 63. 5-yard penalty.
There's a Big East Big Ten battle. Connecticut out of the Big East and Michigan from the Big Ten. And Adam Masters, a first-year starter for Randy Edsall, the left tackle, guilty of the movement. He's the only new starter on that veteran and talented offensive line. Tough place to break in the Big House. So Frazier on 3rd down and forever under duress, and a great start for Michigan. You have to give Rich Rodriguez credit, Matt. His defense was awful last year, and they have a lot of question marks again on defense this season, but he elected to put them out on the field first.
Yeah, and one of the reasons was he knows he has the strength in the middle, and that is Mike Martin. And you saw right there that he got a nice push inside, and also Craig Rowe from the outside.
Cole Wagner into punt. He's a redshirt freshman, punting in his first game. They had a 3-year starting punter, Desi Cullen, who was one of the best in the country. And this is a bomb. First kick of the day for Wagner. What a kick. It'll be down inside the 5-yard line.
Well, offense didn't look so good, but that foot sure got him out of a hole.
Robbie Fry saved it from going into the end zone. 66-yard punt on the first kick of his career for Cole Wagner. We talked to Randy Edsall last night. He wasn't even sure who the punter would be. He had a couple of choices among freshmen. Here's the starting lineup on offense for Michigan. They have a lot of backs, but no featured back. Vincent Smith will get the first shot. We might see as many as 4 super backs today. And like Connecticut, they have a very good returning veteran offensive line, anchored by the left guard, Stephen Schilling, a 4-year starter and a team captain.
I think the biggest thing with his offensive line is right in the middle. Getting David Molk back. He's the brains of that offensive line, and he keeps everybody on the same page. They lost him a year ago, and things went downhill. Molk being back inside makes a big difference.
They actually moved the ball back from the 4-yard line to the 2-yard line, and if they leave it there, it'll be a 68-yard punt for Cole Wagner. So now they're going to move it back to the 4 after the officials huddle. First and 10 Michigan from the 4. Tough starting field position for Denard Robinson. Maybe his first career start, but he was in action regularly last season. They open with Michael Shaw as the running back with that poor field position. They started with 2 backs. And Shaw Jr. got them out across the 9 to just about the 10-yard line.
And they'll stay with the 2 backs. So much of what this offense is predicated upon is pace. And the way to beat pace is to get negative plays.
Robinson throws on a rollout. Good velocity on that throw, and it's caught by Darrell Stoneham for a first down. 7-yard gain. Lady Ray Wilson had the coverage for the Connecticut defense, coordinated by Hank Hughes and Todd Orlando, a solid unit. Kendall Reyes, the best of the bunch up front, and they have one of the best linebacking crews in the country. All 3 of those players are studs, all of them seniors. But the question marks are in the secondary, particularly at safety. 2 new starters there in Dabney and Agbor. Robinson has 4.3 speed in the 40. And that's why he's the starter. The ability to make things happen with his feet, and then a late flag thrown right as Denard was being tackled after a 9-yard gain.
Denard Robinson has what you can't teach, and that's outstanding running skills. And he has an innate ability to be able to pull it down and just find where no one else is.
After the play was over, personal foul, offense, number 65. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Patrick Omame guilty of it. Sophomore offensive lineman from Columbus, Ohio. Was 250 pounds when he arrived here, but in the weight program with great nutrition, he's bulked up to 299.
You see him right at the end there. He just gives a shot, not 1 but 2. Figures if you're going to get flagged, you may as well make it worth it.
That took the crowd right out of the game. Offense had a little momentum and the crowd into it. Maybe Robinson will get him back into it. He will, as he scampers all the way to the 35 where Dwayne Gratz made the tackle. 22-yard run and a first down for Michigan.
When this offense is humming, the quarterback is the key, but not necessarily with his arm. It's with his feet. And that's why Denard Robinson is the guy. He's the guy because he sees things and can get where most people can't get to.
He was not a productive thrower last year, as you saw, 45%, threw only 31 passes. And here he comes again. Well, many of these fans were second-guessing Rich Rodriguez's selection of Robinson over the incumbent Tate Forcier or the very talented true freshman Devin Gardner. Those skeptics might be silenced right now.
Well, and then if you're a Connecticut defender, what do you have to do? What you have to do is, because he's going to pull it down and run so much, you got to get some shots on him. And you got, when you have your chance, you have to beat him into the ground. And you have to pound him because he's not a big guy, and you have to beat him down so he doesn't have the stamina to be able to keep going.
His 10-yard gain got him another first down. Now the handoff to Michael Shaw, who twists out near midfield. Gain of about 5. Jesse Joseph made the tackle. Tate Forcier started all 12 last year. He's an accomplished thrower, but he just does not bring that running threat. They want this offense to resemble the West Virginia offense led by Pat White, and they think Robinson has a Pat White skill set. And they think he's an underappreciated thrower, Matt. Rich Rodriguez told us the other day he can throw, and he could throw last year too, but last year's biggest problem was he really didn't feel comfortable with what he was doing, and he even told us a lot of times running the read option, I didn't even read because I was so excited.
There was
I just
no
dropped
option.
The ball and ran.
Exactly. And in the passing game, what he's got to be able to do is just come along, mature, and look down the field, get a pre-snap read so you have an idea of what coverage is, and then post-snap, see exactly what you have.
Fullback John McColgan in the game now, trying to lead the way for Michael Shaw. It looks like they got just enough for the first down across the Connecticut 45-yard line. They overcame the personal foul penalty, and it's been a very impressive possession that started on their own 4.
Well, Sean, we talked about it in the open, and we can talk about Denard Robinson, but it's those 5 guys up front, that offensive line. This is the first time that Coach Rodriguez has had his type of guy in that offensive line.
Shaw again to the 40.
Michael Shaw carrying the ball.
Harris Agbor, one of those new starters in the safety spot, made the tackle for the Huskies.
So I guess the question then is, what is his type of guy? And what it is, it's a well-conditioned guy. You look at these guys, you don't see any guts. They're 300-pound guys, and they're lean, and they have great endurance.
Robinson, good throw, caught. Kevin Koger, the tight end of the Connecticut 24. And there's an example of what Rich Rodriguez was talking about. Excellent fundamentals, it seemed, from Robinson, and plenty of velocity on that throw from the little guy.
And also a nice job of one of those athletic linemen out front. And yes, he has the arm like you talked about, and he had his eyes downfield, but Schilling, the left guard, gave him a key block.
Shaw ran into Greg Lloyd, one of the hardest hitters in college football, senior linebacker, coming back from knee surgery last year. They didn't think he was going to play at all this year. They thought he was going to redshirt, come back next year, but he rehabbed very quickly and effectively. And Randy Edsall said in their second scrimmage, he lit somebody up carrying the ball. And Randy looked at the coach and said, I think he's going to be able to play this year. He's out there on opening day. Big hole for Robinson. And he's about a yard short of another first down to the 15-yard line of the Huskies.
Now, we talked about this Husky defense and the three linebackers and their experience. Greg Lloyd in the middle, Scott Luchas on the outside, and Wilson on the other side. They're the guys who have to make the plays. They're the guys who have a better vision, right? That's a nice job right there by Greg Lloyd. He stayed home. He read it nicely, took on the block, got off, and made the tackle. Now he gives up the first down, but they're just kind of, I think right now, Michigan's offense, with their pace, they have them off balance here a little bit. 6
carries for Denard Robinson for 58 yards. They can get another first down inside the 2. Nearly midway through the first quarter, no score. An impressive drive for Michigan. 14th play of this possession. And it's a touchdown for Vincent Smith. Now Brendan Gibbons with butterflies, undoubtedly. His first extra point try as a college place kicker, and it's up and good. What a drive by the Wolverines. 96 yards in 14 plays, and Vincent Smith the score.
Or Bo, one of you guys, somebody will answer.
I'd say they chose the right guy based on that. My goodness.
Is this going to be Agbor? Yeah. Oh, he just.
Oh, the
that's
safeties.
It. Good. All right. That's good.
Agboration.
See, this is poor right here. He didn't know what he's looking at. Boy, he looks like he's limping already. 95.
That would not be good.
This is poor here, but he comes down right inside.
How many
okay,
yards
got
is
it.
a touchdown, Marty?
Let me see it one more.
7.
One more time.
12. All righty.
Well, that looked like an offense, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Oh, no, you can do whatever you want. It's fine. Yes, it was.
Like those kind of drives, baby. Keep it on the ground. Where was he last year when I had a plane to catch?
And for the young quarterback.
Wow.
This is perfect team defense. They're going to come inside with the double. They'll double here. He's on the backside. Everybody's accounted for. Here's your free hitter. Harris Agbar has got to make this hit. He's unaccounted for, and he whiffs. Nicely done by Vincent Smith in making a miss. But when you have the free hit and you're coming in that lane, you got to seal the deal. Smith made a miss.
There's the drive recap brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Smith the touchdown, but Denard Robinson did most of the work. He rushed for 58 of those 96 yards and was 2 for 2 passing for 23. So he had 81 total yards on the drive. Much better kick this time by Brennan Gibbons. And Jordan Todman won't try to run it back. So Connecticut will begin at the 20-yard line, down 7-0 when we come back to Ann Arbor. I'm making a conscious effort. I really am.
Very easy. It's a piece of cake.
Not talking might be easy for some people.
Oh, you're a dandy.
Billis always says you're the only guy who talks in the middle of your own golf shots. So I'll be like, yeah.
All right, let's see if they can get their short straightened out here.
Because they will have some chances.
Yes, they will.
This.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here. Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Chevrolet.
The big house, newly remodeled, $226 million poured into the stadium since the end of the 2007 season, and they did a fabulous job. It's about 450,000 square feet bigger, 81 suites added, 3,000 club seats. The capacity expanded, and they're making plenty of noise. Michigan off to a terrific start midway through the first quarter. They forced a 3-and-out when Connecticut had the ball the first time. There's a positive run by Jordan Todman. He got about 7. Here's the Michigan defense. Last year, that group really scuffled, 82nd in the country in total defense. The strength is the front 3. Mark Mundros, a new starter at linebacker, a former fullback. And 5 in the secondary, including true freshman Carvin Johnson. Rich Rodriguez says as many as 12 true freshmen might play today. That's a very high number. Anthony Sherman got stood up and might have powered his way to the first down. He had a heavy collision with Jonas Mouton, but advanced it to the 31 and a first down for the Huskies.
There's a guy right there that Jonas Mouton's fun to watch, and I think his best football is just coming. I think he moves real well, but he got bigger. He's around 240 pounds and has a really nice feel, especially in zone drops. He comes out of his breaks well.
Zach Frazier faked the quick pass, handed it off, and another good run for Todman, who was part of a duo last year. He split time with Andre Dixon in the backfield. They both rushed for over 1,000 yards. The only other team in the country that had more than one 1,000-yard rusher was Nevada.
I'm listening rather to Kirk Herbstreit on the pregame show, and he was dead on. This Jordan Todman's a guy not a lot of people know about. This is a talented player.
We had some very productive running backs, including the first-round pick Donald Brown, now with the Indianapolis Colts. Open in the sideline was Sherman, and he has a first down into Michigan territory at the 46-yard line. Obi Aze made the tackle. 15 yards and another first down for UConn.
And well read by Zach Frazier. It was a hot read off the side. They brought two guys, and they just sent him into the flat. He read it perfectly and dumped it and picked up what was there.
Frazier is a fifth-year senior, a veteran. Handed it off to Todman. He spins for another first down, all the way to the 26-yard line. 20 more for the Huskies. Cameron Gordon, freshman safety, had to make the tackle.
Well, it looks like this Connecticut offense is getting their shorts straightened out against this Michigan defense. And the way to do that is hand it to 23.
He has 35 yards on 3 carries on the drive. Like Michigan, Connecticut will go with a lot of no huddle, and they'll try to change the tempo. They have 4 different speeds at which they like to play offensively. Frazier after the play fake zips one down the hash mark, and it's incomplete. Not a very accurate throw for Michael Smith to try to handle, and he was open.
Well, this is well done with the play action. You can see right there, Smith, right down the hash. You got to catch that ball.
He just dropped it.
That was a very well thrown ball, and Frazier knew exactly where he had to go. You've got to make that catch, especially in the big house.
They lost their 2 leading receivers from a year ago, including Marcus Easley, who was a 4th-round draft pick of the Buffalo Bills. But Randy Edsel says collectively, I think our receiving group's better this year. Todman ahead for 2. And Zach Frazier concurred with that. You asked him about his wide receiver group. He said, I love our group. There's a lot of different skills among a lot of different receivers. Third down and 7. Now the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Connecticut from the Michigan 23. And the Huskies look confused. And
still had
timeout was called.
Okay, because he had 2 seconds left on the clock still.
Well, during their practices back in Storrs, Connecticut, they've been blasting crowd noise into their practices. Zach Frazier said, I can't believe that crowd's going to be any louder than our new speakers that we have in our practice facility.
Exactly right.
The crowd seemed to be giving them a problem there. Coastal Carolina. Georgia Tech, the Fighting Al Groves. Held South Carolina State to 10 points today.
NFL.
Who was that? Whoa. Mike Hart's down there, supposedly. tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC. Don't miss Saturday Night Football as number 21 LSU takes on 18th ranked North Carolina in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. It's Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines. 3rd and 7 for Connecticut at the Michigan 23-yard line. Wolverines lead 7-0 here in the first quarter. Frazier just threw it into the ground under pressure.
Yeah, he wants something for Todman. Todman got tackled inside, but that's not on. That's good defense. This was going to be a screen. Watch 23 right here. See, he gets caught up in the wash, and right in the middle of that thing is our guy Mike Martin. And he doesn't even know he got him, but he got him.
Well, the field goal unit on this windy afternoon. Dave Teggart will try a 40-yard field goal. Junior from Northborough, Massachusetts. 14 field goals last year. Not as high a percentage as you'd like, but made a big one under pressure. Kicked the field goal as time expired to give them a 2-point win over South Florida, part of their 4-game winning streak at the end of the year. That started with a dramatic double overtime win at Notre Dame. Kick is blocked. Martell Webb blocked it. He and Cameron Gordon both went high right there in the middle of the line. They announced Webb. It might have been Gordon. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is a very good UConn drive. Ends with nothing.
And Sean, Cam Gordon's blocking that from there. That tells you it's a low kick.
Well, Michigan takes over. 96-yard drive on their first possession. Good move by Michael Shaw. Managed to get 3 when it looked like he'd be stuffed at the line. Let's check in with Robert Flores, get our first update of the day. Robert? All right, Robert, as you were giving us the update, Robinson completed pass to Darrell Stoneham along the near side, just short of the first down. It's 3rd down and 1 for Michigan. Robinson in the middle of the line, driven back by Lawrence Wilson. But with forward progress, they'll give him the 35 and a first down for the Wolverines.
So all the intrigue about who was going to be the quarterback for this Michigan Wolverine team was answered, and answered resoundingly, because this kid, he's been the whole offense. He went down the field with his feet and his arm in the first series, and he's picking right up again.
Made a good decision there, held on to it. Excellent ball fake, froze some of the defenders. And that's another 12-yard run for Denard Robinson. This does look like the good old days for Rich Rodriguez at West Virginia when he had Pat White.
Well, and if you listen to Heather earlier, he's talking about how he wasn't even, he had an option read and he wouldn't have any read at all. Now you can see that he's doing, he had the ball in, his eyes were up looking at the defender, he bites, I go.
Now out of the shotgun. Dumped it off for Michael Shaw. He's down to the Connecticut 37-yard line. Harris Agbor made the tackle. But Michigan is briskly on the move again. That's 16 yards.
Michigan is stomping them. They're doing whatever they want to do. And they're running inside, outside. The quarterback's taking control of this game and this offensive line. No pressure whatsoever and a lot of running room.
Again, good reversal of field by Shaw. And he's tripped up at the 32 by Greg Lloyd. 5 yards 2 minutes to go first quarter. Here's Heather Cox.
Well, Matt, you were just talking about the differences in Denard Robinson's game. He said, you know what, now I can read the defense instead of just figuring out what my teammates are doing. And then Coach Rodriguez said, this is a guy who doesn't even know how fast he is. I had to do the same thing with Pat White, just convince him of his speed. And Denard said, my biggest improvement, where my eyes are at pre-snap, post-snap, this game has slowed down for me.
Well, you hear that in every sport, Sean, regardless of what it is. When the game slows down, that's when you get your best performances. And it's going to continue to slow down for him.
Juan Martin, the injured player, but he appears to be all right. Up on his feet and trotting off. Denard Robinson from South Florida, nicknamed Shoelace. Never tied his shoes, and he doesn't tie his football shoes either. Lace is flapping. Doesn't slow him down. If anything, might speed him up. He's one of the fastest players in high school in the state of Florida. Finished third in the Class 4A 100 meters. Second and 5. Here he goes again.
That's 6.
They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Michigan.
Sean, you just got done talking about his outstanding speed. And as soon as he got to the second level, it was over. There's not a safety, a linebacker, anybody is going to catch him. From that point right there, it's over.
77 yards on that drive, just 7 plays. Brendan Gibbs the extra point. Rich Rodriguez needed a good start, and he's getting it. Thanks largely to Denard Robinson, who's rushed for 105 yards already after that 32-yard scamper.
Okay, go, run it back, run it back. Yep.
Lloyd.
Yeah, I just want to show this touchdown just because the offensive line, everybody has their guy. I mean, look, that's so well blocked, it's ridiculous.
Lloyd blocked himself.
Yeah, that's look at this. This is good. That's good. That's everybody. Everybody, it's drawn up perfectly. Here's your double, out, kick down through. Everybody's sealed. Every defender is accounted for. Look at that. That is beautiful. Yeah, and let me keep running back. I want to see who is the receiver down here.
Can Heather tell us on the field, is the wind blowing one way or the other?
There's Vincent with a nice block, and then who's that? That's 19. Now that's what's his face.
Well, yeah, for the flags look like that. Grady. He's 19. That's
yeah, Kelvin Grady. That's right.
She didn't have a good day on opening day here on the chart.
Yeah, that's great team offense right there.
Back in Ann Arbor, when we asked Rich Rodriguez yesterday for the strengths of his team, the first thing he said was the offensive line. And they are backing up the coach's praise with their performance today.
Man, you are dead on, Sean. That you could not have blocked that last play any better. Everybody was accounted for. Very well done by the O-line and the receivers.
Another good kick by Gibbons. And Todman will take an E, middle of the end zone. Let's go back and take a look at the 32-yard touchdown run by Denard Robinson.
Watch the defenders, and then I want you to watch how the blue shirts just are on top of them. Vincent gets in the act. They're going to pull around, double down inside. Everybody is accounted for, including, see this head down here? That's Kelvin Grady. He has a key block in the second level. Nice job right here by Webb, by Omame. Nice by Vincent. Look at that right there. That's beautiful by Grady. And heck, all that blocking makes a happy coach.
Zach Frazier with Connecticut down 14-0 after the pump fake has a man open and another drop ball. This one by Isaiah Moore. You'd have to think, and we saw it on the last possession for Connecticut, Connecticut's going to get some chances on offense. This is still the Michigan defense with a lot of holes and a lot of very young people, particularly in the secondary.
And they're trying to take advantage of it, and they've had open guys, and the ball has been there, but they've dropped it twice. 2 big drops.
JT Floyd is a returning starter at cornerback, but that Michigan defense without senior cornerback Troy Woolfolk broke his ankle in preseason, likely out for the year. Jordan Todman tackled by Ryan Van Bergen at the 24. 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 6 as we tick down near a minute to go in the first quarter.
Got to get some points if you're the UConn Huskies offense right here. You got to convert this 3rd down, and you got to get some points on the board. Kind of slow this avalanche down.
Robbie Fry's in at running back. He has home run speed like Todman. Frazier out of the gun, wants to throw it quickly, and an errant pass in the direction of Michael Smith. But pressure came from Craig Rowe. Frazier had to get rid of it. And Connecticut is 0 for 3 now on 3rd down today.
Now this is the 2nd time that Rowe has just gone right by Masters. It's not even close. Masters got to get a better kick to get out there, but Rowe, he's got that half step, and he's been to the edge the whole time.
Rowe's going to be a true linebacker this year. He's used to having his hand in the ground. So he really has never played linebacker exclusively. Cole Wagner's 2nd punt, and a bad decision made by the return man Jeremy Gallen. Huskies are saying they have it. But the officials do not agree. It's Michigan ball. And Gallen got away with a mistake. He came up and tried to make a head-first sliding catch of a punt. It looked like he had no chance to get. He's another one of those freshmen out of Apopka, Florida. Brandon Hawthorne recovered the muff for Michigan.
You know, there's a point in every return, and believe it or not, I actually returned kicks in high school.
I do not believe it. I want to see the film.
Back where Madden said the same thing. I had to prove it to him. But there's a point in every return when that ball, it starts to drop, and you got to make a decision. He made his decision. He was going to get it no matter what, and it started to tail faster than he thought it could.
Michael Shaw, another 1st down. Tackled by Lawrence Wilson. They are gashing this Connecticut defense that historically has been very solid under the coordination of Hank Hughes.
Well, this offensive line is just doing whatever they want to do with this defensive front of Connecticut.
157 yards rushing in the quarter for Michigan. They'll lose a few as Robinson's driven back. That's the end of the first quarter. They've waited a long time to smile in Ann Arbor around this Michigan football program. Plenty of reason to smile after that first 15 minutes.
Sean goes, I want to see the film. I tell you, we were here in Detroit, and we were in a conversation one night, and it was before the Thanksgiving game, and it came up, and I said that, well, you have to read the nose of the ball. And Rand said, what are you talking about? I said, I returned punts in high school. He goes, no, you didn't.
The sockless idea is a bad idea, by the way.
Yeah.
Back in the big house, expanded, and it looks great. Sean McDonough, Matt Millen, Heather Cox, delighted to have you with us. Michigan leading Connecticut after a quarter, 14-0, and the Wolverines on the move again. 2nd and 13 at the UConn 32. Kelvin Grady. Good open field tackle that time by the Huskies' Kawan Dabney. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Connecticut had a few bright moments in that first quarter, but for the most part, it was dominated by Michigan. 9 minutes of possession, and they outgained UConn on the ground, 154-39.
How about we just do this, John? You just put a number 16 right there, because that was the whole first quarter.
3rd down and 10, so he's going to pass, and he throws short to the tight end Kevin Colgren. Again, better tackling by Connecticut here. Scott Luttress in on the stop, 5th-year senior out of Brookfield, Connecticut. When he was growing up, the Huskies were a Division I AA program. Very few people I knew even talked about Connecticut football, and he's one of those people who's played a big part in propelling this football program into the consciousness at the Division I-A level, now FBS. Brendan Gibbons will try a 43-yard field goal, his first collegiate field goal attempt. And it's no good.
Fell short. It almost looked like the wind just took it and pushed it right down.
Yeah, Heather Cox tells us the wind is swirling on the field. It's tough to tell from our vantage point because there are a lot of flags around the top of the stadium, and everyone you look at looks like it's pointing in an opposite direction from the one next to it.
And that's going one way, and then you can see the wind is coming this way, and he was kicking it here. It looks like the wind just took it straight down.
Have you been anxious to use the telestrator?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be able to get my fingers back on that thing. They gave me some toys here. I just don't know how to work them.
Well, you're practicing enough here in the first half. You'll get the hang of that. Beautiful new telestrator in the booth. There's Zach Frazier, the transfer from Notre Dame, where he spent a year. Hands it off to Jordan Todman. And he might have lost a yard, perhaps back to the line of scrimmage. Ronaldo Sagase made the tackle, senior out of Montreal. Defense was a major problem for Michigan last year. Yards per game, the worst in school history at 393 given up. Frazier, that time a good catch by Isaiah Moore. To the 33-yard line goes Isaiah, where he's tackled by Obi Azay. 8-yard gain for Connecticut. And 3rd down and 3.
Both these defenses are deficient, or I should say inexperienced, in the secondary. Both teams need linebacker play to be improved. Connecticut has some decent linebackers, but their safeties and corners are the ones that need to improve the most.
Greg Robinson didn't like something. He's in his 2nd year as Rich Rodriguez's defensive coordinator. Prior to that, the head coach at Syracuse. It's a very young group. He said they're very physically talented, very eager to learn. He thinks they'll get better as the year goes along. Ooh. Is this me? Carry another water when you have a chance. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. All right. You need a little time to set it up before we go to the video. Randy Edsall and the Connecticut Huskies trailing 14-0. They have a big third down play upcoming here. 3rd and 3 from their own 33-yard line. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. Zach Frazier 4 out of 9 passing. DJ Shoemate, a transfer from USC, is the running back. Frazier throws and is incomplete. Intended for Kashif Moore, and he took a pretty good wallop as the ball arrived. Broken up by James Rogers.
Well, it was 3rd and 3. First mistake, Kashif Moore didn't have the necessary yardage. And then it was just good defense. Rogers does a nice break on the ball, and the ball comes out, but he wouldn't have had the first down anyway.
So here's Cole Wagner. First collegiate punt went 66 yards. Second one went 27 yards. Redshirt freshman out of York, Pennsylvania. That's a shank. Dead sideways. And that went about 5 yards.
That was pathetic.
When we spoke with Randy Edsall the other day, he wasn't sure who the punter would be. Another redshirt freshman, Chad Preston, who was competing for the job. We might see Chad before long.
And that one went right off the side of his foot. He missed it completely.
Well, Randy told us he might use both punters. Wagner, he said, would be the pooch punter.
Right.
And Chad Kristen would be the punter to the larger field. You wonder if Wagner thought he was supposed to pooch punt there.
Not good.
There's a reverse. And well defended by the Huskies, who knocked the ball out. Kelvin Grady lost it. It went out of bounds. It'll be a loss of about 3 on the play. Harris Agbor. A nice defensive play for Connecticut. And that is the biggest concern on offense for Rich Rodriguez. Hang on to the football. They've been terrible in turnover margin in his first 2 years here at Michigan.
Yeah, no negative plays. That was a tremendous play by Agbor because he got blocked and got off and still made a solid hit.
2nd and 13. Robinson gained about 15 pounds of muscle since last year. He's 195 now. And Ryan Worth made the tackle.
And Sean, you saw the added strength right there, and right through Greg Lloyd's tackle. I mean, that's something he probably wouldn't have done a year ago. This Michigan strength program, they do an outstanding job. All these guys we saw a year ago coming back, they're all bigger and stronger.
3rd down. 6 from the 35. Robinson throws, caught. 1st down, much more. Martavius Odoms shoved out of bounds at the 19 by Jerome Jr.
Kawan Dabney had the perfect read and didn't believe it. And he shut it down, and then they make the catch. Watch this thing. Dabney comes down inside. Watch him. He just hesitates, and then the completion and out to the side. Believe your eyes.
15-yard gain on the completion to Odoms, who'd been a slot receiver in the first 2 years under Rodriguez. They moved him outside this year. Vincent Smith up the middle to the 15 for 4 more, where Scott Lutris made another tackle. Scott's pretty much just a football player this season. He needs 1 credit to get his degree, and he's taking introduction to weightlifting. I have a feeling he's already been introduced to weightlifting.
Yeah, I know for a fact he has been.
Robinson stumbling and lost yardage. Seal Moore. Trevardo Williams checked at 48, not 46. Moore made the tackle. And another big 3rd down here for Denard Robinson.
Sean, this game, really, we're talking about Denard Robinson, but as you watch it, this offensive line, that's been the whole key. He's given him time to throw, and he's taken advantage of that. And then they have opened a lot of holes, not only for him, but for the other running backs.
He hasn't missed on a pass yet. 7 for 7 for 66 yards. Takes off running. Inside the 10, has the 1st down. Down to the 7-yard line.
And it's not only the offensive line that's getting there, man. It's the backs. Watch Smith again with another good block. Another nice job by Roundtree getting inside. Everybody is spot on. this is an impressive drive. It's been an impressive half for this whole offense, especially in the blocking department.
Inside handoff to Michael Shaw, slices his way down to the 3. The one thing that they are missing, they want a Pat White style quarterback. They seem to have that now in Denard Robinson, and he should just get better. They don't have the big home run hitter running back like he had in Steve Slayton and some others at West Virginia.
Yeah, and they're looking for that guy, but I think they're looking for a few guys also. They still need to upgrade their roster, Sean. You and I talked about this the other night.
Inside handoff again, and a touchdown for Michael Shaw.
Michael Shaw may not be the biggest guy at 190 pounds, but boy, he ran with power on that play.
They weren't sure till recently that he'd be able to play. He had some academic eligibility issues, but he was cleared to play and has scored a touchdown. 3 yards. Brendan Gibbons the extra point. 21-0 Michigan, breaking in their renovated home in style. We have time to do all that before they kick off. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, I just don't want to rush the story. I mean, it's,
They're mauling him.
yeah. As Marty points out, the 5-yard punt didn't really help.
Yeah, how about it?
ESPN's College Football on ABC, brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move. And Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Proud football tradition here in Michigan. They're trying to get back to their winning ways. In 2010, they lead 21-0. We're looking at Elliott Mueller, number 57, backup offensive lineman, sophomore from Wauseon, Ohio. He and his family part of a very moving pregame ceremony. Elliott and his family, Christmas Eve of 2007, involved in a horrible car accident that took the life of his dad, David, and Elliott's girlfriend, Hollis Rieker, just 17 years old. A 90-year-old man drove through a stop sign and T-boned the Mueller's car as they were on their way to midnight mass. Elliott had serious shoulder injury that he had to rehab. His brother Brock was also in the car, was paralyzed from the waist down. Squib kick by Gibbons. And it's returned to the 37-yard line. Brock Mueller, his older brother, now 25 years old, was told after he had 17 screws inserted into his spine that he had a 1% chance of walking again. But after years of rehab, much of it with the strength coaches here at Michigan, Rich Rodriguez had challenged him and said, you can walk again, and when you do, you'll lead our team out onto the field. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house when he came out with Elliott and their other brother Blake and mom Shelley in the background. And he made good time. He said he thought it might take 2.5 minutes to get from the sideline to midfield. He got there much quicker than that. Good for him. And good for the Michigan football program for the way their strength coaches, Mike Barwas and his staff, helped Brock get back on his feet. Frazier to Kashif Moore. 42 yards. So Denard Robinson, the star of the game, but to me, the star of the show today is Brock Mueller. He's with Heather Cox.
I certainly agree, Sean. And Brock, an emotional day today. Now, right after the accident, as Sean just mentioned, doctor said a 99% chance you'd never walk again. That week, you told Coach Rodriguez you would be that 1%. What made you believe when no one else did?
Just, I prayed to God every night, and, the hospital got me through, some really hard times. And once I got to meet these coaches and the staff and the whole team, I mean, it's driven me every day ever since, and just kept me going.
And how have you been able to turn such a negative, really heartbreaking situation into such a positive?
I could never imagine turning this into a positive. I mean, that's all God's doing. I mean, everything that's happened since that accident, God has just set me up with the right people and the right opportunities, and it's all to Him.
And how much was your dad and Elliot's girlfriend Hollis in your thoughts today?
The whole time. I mean, the whole time I was walking, I just was thinking about them smiling down, and I miss them every day. But I just know that they're smiling down from heaven.
Brock, thank you. You inspire us to be that 1%. Thank you.
Thanks.